many organizations today have a great emphasis on data-driven decision-making. And yet, when business leaders, when decision makers get reports, get insights, get dashboards, many times they ask the question, can I make a decision off of this information? Do I actually trust this data to be accurate enough where if I make a decision based on this information, I can actually see the impact that I want to see? And I think that's very telling. When we think about data in our organizations, it is a resource that is precious and valuable because it supports and empowers business leaders and decision makers to make the right decisions at the right time as required. If we cannot support that as data professionals in the data world, then we are not doing our jobs. And so I want to drill down a little bit on this concept of trust or confidence in data. Normally, there are three key challenges that we see that impact the trust or confidence in data and lower it. Number one, data quality. Sometimes data is outdated. Sometimes data is inconsistent. Sometimes it is erroneous. Sometimes it is incomplete or inadequate for decision making. I think data quality is the number one challenge and the number one reason that business leaders and decision makers have fear trusting in the data that they receive. Number two is accessibility. You may have great data quality, but if business leaders, decision makers, business users do not get the data that they require at the right time in the right fashion, then all of the data that you gather is pointless. Ultimately, data is for the business user to use, to leverage, and to really apply in their roles, in their functions, and in their decisions. And thirdly, there's the question of data literacy. You may have the greatest data quality, and you may have data as accessible as possible in your organization. But if the business users, if the decision makers, if the business leaders do not understand the information that they receive, they do not see the insights that are hidden in that information, they do not see what that data is trying to convey, the story that it's trying to tell, then all of the great data, the quality and the accessibility is pointless. Ultimately, business users need to have the know-how to use data for decision making and to see the impact that they want to see in business and for the consumer. So when we think about trust or confidence in data, there are three key pillars that need to be addressed at the very minimum. Number one, data quality. Number two, data accessibility. And number three, data literacy.